Welcome to Bullard High, circa 2012-2013. How did a school ranked a decade ago as the top high school in the entire valley deteriorate into this? The story of Bullard's decline begins with the school bus. This is one of the buses that takes Bullard community students from a school right in their neighborhood to another school across town. At the end of a long school day, they arrive home later than other students. Why are they made to pay the price of busing? Because they are gifted students who seek a better education. Consider the absurdity of their situation. Northwest Fresno produces far more gifted students than any other area of town. And yet there isn't one school in Northwest Fresno that offers a single GATE class. Fresno Unified has engineered a brain drain of Northwest Fresno. Of the 700 students at Manchester GATE, fully 32% are Bullard community students. The district is siphoning off our best and brightest students each year to populate Manchester GATE. Because Fresno Unified fails to provide GATE classes to students in our community, parents see Manchester as their only option. In many cases, these students never return to the Bullard Pyramid. This systematic dismantling of Bullard feeder schools has had an alarming effect. In the most recent ranking of test scores statewide, Gibson Elementary dropped from the 80th percentile to the 40th percentile, Starr from the 60th percentile to the 20th percentile, Malik from the 80th percentile to the 60th percentile. The decline at Bullard and Tenaya has been even more dramatic. In 2004-2005, Bullard scored in the 90th percentile of similar schools statewide. This year, Bullard will rank in the bottom 10th percentile after test scores dropped 10 points, the most of any high school in the district. Tenaya Middle School has dropped from the 80th percentile to the bottom 10th percentile. This academic freefall is unfathomable when measured against Bullard's rich academic past. From the time Bullard opened its doors in 1955, it established a level of excellence unmatched in the valley. The honor roll of Bullard graduates that have gone on to prominence in their given fields is impressive. Their accomplishments are all the more impressive when you consider the historical lack of support from Fresno Unified. Between 1994 and 2006, Bullard received the lowest funding for facilities of any high school in the district. This neglect sparked a grassroots effort to upgrade Bullard facilities. Together, we forced a reluctant downtown to fund new athletic facilities district-wide. New pools at Bullard and Fresno High, all-weather tracks at Bullard, Hoover, and Fresno High, and a state-of-the-art weight room at Hoover. The Bullard community then set its sights on addressing the academic needs of our pyramid. In 2010, the residents of Northwest Fresno sat down with Superintendent Michael Hansen and shook hands on a new deal. The future of Fresno, the area of town boasting the highest tax base and most successful shopping center, Fig Garden Village, was at stake. As a city, we couldn't afford another generation of middle and upper income families fleeing Fresno Unified and moving to Clovis. The deal was straightforward. We agreed to support Measure Q and provide 25% of the tax dollars for the new bond measure, far more than any other community. In return, Hansen promised to launch the Bullard Regional Pilot. The goal was to bolster Northwest Fresno by making sure our schools would remain neighborhood schools committed to excellence. The superintendent publicly promised a higher standard of dress and discipline at Bullard, a working law magnet, a new sports medicine magnet, GATE classes up and down the Bullard Pyramid, $50 million in new facilities, and a redesign of our high school that we would help choose. The Bullard community kept all of its promises. We voted by an 80% margin to underwrite Measure Q. Immediately following the election, Superintendent Hansen severed ties and ended communication with Northwest Fresno representatives. To date, Hansen has broken every one of his promises. The Bullard Regional Pilot exists only in name. The law magnet is fraud, understaffed, underfunded, and underdeveloped. Not a single gate class exists in the feeder pattern. An acceptable standard of dress was never established. Measure Q facility project stalled with no communication since September. Today, the Bullard Pyramid represents the low expectations of Fresno Unified. Currently, 2,600 students are packed on a campus that struggles to accommodate 2,000. Overcrowded classes filled with 40 and more students is the norm. Fights, the result of an emerging gang presence on campus, are common. Drug use is prevalent and spilling into surrounding neighborhoods. The long-standing district policy of suspended expulsions, which rotates violent offenders from one campus to the next, has created an unsafe learning environment for teachers and students.
Number one change has been the lack of discipline. We have drug deals going down on the actual campus. We have violent offenders at our school now. They come from other schools. The climate of the school is, I just don't feel that it's safe anymore. Well, the education has dramatically dropped. I mean, the curriculum has been watered down because students are just placed in classrooms when they're not prepared. They haven't satisfied the requirements to get into that classrooms. It's hard to walk through the hallways. The bathrooms are a disaster, and they're afraid to use the bathrooms because of what goes on inside. If you look at some of our best students, they come from poverty, but yet they're still our best students. With the size of the campus, we can't handle 26, 27, or 2,800 kids. So we don't have enough time or energy to spend on what we got into education for, and that was to educate kids.
We are proud of the fact that Bullard High is the most racially diverse high school in the district. We want to maintain this diversity. Indeed, the strength of our educational experience is rooted in the fact that Bullard has evolved from a predominantly white school to a much more racially balanced one. But our students from low-income families are being denied Title I funds to help them. And they are also being subjected to overcrowding and violence that degrades the educational experience for all students. It doesn't have to be this way. Bullard and its feeder schools can regain prominence as academic leaders in the Valley. In order for this to occur, the following must take place. Reduce Bullard's overcrowding by changing the boundaries. Establish a comprehensive GATE program that serves 3rd through 12th grade students with top-notch teachers. Establish a high standard of dress now practiced at other district schools. Create alternative campuses for suspended and expelled students and students far behind on academic credits. Expansion of career tech programs to serve students who would benefit from a non-traditional school setting. And strong discipline. If the district partners with us, there's little doubt that Bullard can come back.